Hi, welcome to our web class. Learn to speak Manguage, the naked truth about men. And I'm Tarisha Tourok, a relationship expert and an author of Deeply in Love Again. And I'm really thrilled to see you here today. And I really congratulate you on investing your time, investing your attention into this web class, because I know how important it is to learn the differences about men and women that I'm going to teach you today. And I know unless you know these differences, you will continue feeling frustrated, dissatisfied, and you won't be able to create this deep connection with your partner, which is so possible for you to do. And, I've learned lots from different relationship experts, and I haven't seen anyone teach these differences in the same way that I do. And I know you get such an amazing value from knowing this. And I will give you tips that you can implement right away in your relationship. And you'll see, how you create more connection, more intimacy with your partner. And that's why I love doing my work, because I really love seeing couples, hugging, kissing, and being deeply, intimately connected. Because what I know is that as women, we need that support of a stable, passionate, connected relationship so we can be our best selves in our world. And that's what I really, would love to see more women step into their brilliance, living up to their potential. And for that, we need the support of the relationship. And so I just wanted to introduce myself to you before we jump into the slides. And I'm just so thrilled to see you here, so delighted. And let's continue the conversation now to the slides.
Okay, so now to the slides. And the topic for today is learn to speak Manguage. I can naked truth about men. I hope that all of you had read the report so that now we can expand on the secrets you've learned. But if you haven't learned the report yet, that's okay too, right? Don't worry about this. But please read it after you listen to this web class, because this web class has a completely different content from the Manguage report. And so you need to learn from both, so you really know how to understand your man better and how to ask for what you need, how to communicate with him, right? And I really appreciate you for investing your time today and deciding to take your relationship to a new level, because you are one of the few people who have decided to prioritize and nurture their relationship. And you're awesome, right? And I know there are lots of distractions around us, but this web class can change your life. And I don't want you to miss a single crucial step. So please, 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 please make a commitment to stay focused. Can you do that for yourself? Close out of Facebook. Stop checking your email. Turn off your cell phone. And please give me your complete attention, because it's totally worth it. I promise you, it can change your life, this information. And so I know that being in a long term relationship, you might be feeling frustrated, unsupported. You might feel, disconnected. You feel this lack of emotional connection with your partner. Or you might feel like your to do list has taken over and you are merely functioning your life together. Is this you? So, functioning rather than actively enjoying each other's company. And maybe, you remember that it used to be so much better. There was more intimacy and love between the two of you. But as the time went by and you became accustomed to each other, habits formed and the passion and romance just became rarer, right? And sometimes even non existent. And it all combined to make you feel dissatisfied with your life, and maybe even disillusioned with love. Or you may be tired of constant arguments. You might even wonder, how did I get here? Or what the hell am I doing in this relationship? And so, as I said, you might struggle with this lack of emotional connection and support. Because for us to live our fullest potential, to really be happy, to step out into the world, we need the support. It is so important. So, does any of this sound like you? Can you relate? And now it's like kind of a time for you to check in with yourself. Where are you on the spectrum? Or maybe your relationship is okay, right? But you sense that there's more. And you don't want to settle for mediocre, okay relationship. You long to experience this deep heart-to-heart connection with your partner, and even maybe a delightful sex life. How would that be for you? So by the end of this workshop, you will learn the three crucial differences between men and women and how to resolve these differences. That's very important, right? So that you start enjoying more affection, you start enjoying more support in your relationship. You'll also learn three biggest mistakes that even smart, successful women make that keep them feeling frustrated and disconnected. And of course, what to do instead. I'm all about taking action, so I'll give you action steps how you can implement this information in your relationship. And does this sound exciting? And I really loved sharing the secrets, and I know they can change your life. And my work is, work of my life. So it really brings me joy to see you here, to be here with you today. And I hope you really enjoy the seminar. And also, what's important, take notes. Take a notebook, take a pen, and take notes. Because if you just listen and you don't implement, nothing is going to change, right? So you really need to listen, take notes, and then implement. So can you imagine how your life will change once you have all the support and affection that you want in your relationship? When you have all the amazing sex you want, wouldn't that be awesome? And just think about it, how would your life be different? And what would you do differently? Just imagine coming home to a loving partner. He hugs you, he looks at you with adoration and without any demands or complaints, but is right there for you, listening to you and wanting to know how your day was. How wonderful would that be for you, right? And what would that do for your children if you have children? Like, don't you think they'll be thrilled to see mom and dad truly in love with each other? How do you think it's going to affect their life? Now, I'm not sure if you know, but the research shows that 50% of all marriages end in divorce, and 70% of second and third marriages end in divorce. And from couples that stay married, only 25% of people say they're happy. What a terrible statistics, right? And so I wonder, what is your experience? How many couples do you know that are happy and fulfilled together? And how's your relationship with your partner? And if you can be really honest with yourself, how is your relationship with your partner? Do you feel loved and supported? Do you experience magical moments together? Are you completely deeply in love with each other? Are you really there for each other? So think about it and feel into your relationship. What's missing in your relationship? What is it that you want to have more of in your relationship? And so today I will share with you the differences between men and women, because knowing these differences will help you to join the realms of the happy couples and increase their number past this 25%, right? And that's my mission. That's what I'm here to do. And so, three crucial differences. We'll talk about three crucial differences. And difference number 3 is connecting versus problem solving. Difference number 2 is different focus on actions versus focus on emotions. And difference number 1 is communication, how we communicate differently, and even the meaning of communication for men and women is quite different. So you really need to know this information. Otherwise, your man will communicate with you, but you'll never understand what is he trying to tell you. You won't even accept his way of communication. And so today I'll share with you as much as I can in the limited time we have together, and I promise to show you how you can get more by the end of this web class, okay? So if you feel like, you don't want to wait any longer to enjoy more affection and more happiness, and now that you know the language, but if you really feel that you want to transform your relationship and you really want to implement what I teach, because remember, the main thing is to implement, to practice in your relationship. Only then you're going to see change. If you just listen to the information, nothing's going to change. And so if that's you, then I'll let you know how to get more support by the end of this workshop, okay? Okay, and so since we're going to spend some time together, I just wonder if it's okay if I share with you my personal story, so you know why I'm so passionate about my work, and why should you listen to me, right? Okay, so I come from Russia, and I've been in New Zealand for 20 years now. And I started my professional career in New Zealand as a chartered accountant. Surprise, right? People sometimes laugh when they look at me and they say, "Oh, chartered accountant, wow." And at that time, I was putting a lot of attention on my career. I really wanted success, I really wanted to be a successful businesswoman. But I totally forgot to put attention on my relationship. And I didn't even know, what to do and how to put attention on my relationship. And so I thought that somehow it will work out because we love each other, right? Like, why would I need to work on my relationship? We love each other, it should work out. And the concept of working on my relationship, like, it didn't even cross my mind back then. And after being in my marriage for 2 years, I just started to wonder what had happened to the passion with my husband. And, it was so amazing once, but now there was nothing. And I was like, where was my perfect lover that I dreamt of when I was 17? The man who would take me on an ecstatic love adventure. And yes, I was achieving great results in my career, yet I felt that the routine took away my joy and passion. And I was miserable, successful but miserable. I didn't feel loved, and I felt stuck in my relationship. And the thing was that, it was so scary to feel completely alone despite being with the guy I loved, because I knew I loved him. And it's like, what now? Where to go? What to do? And I had this yearning to create a deep, intimate relationship full of love, of growth, of laughter, of adventure. I just didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to start. And so I did the only thing I knew I could do. I ran away. And I resigned from my job. I left the country, and I divorced a man I loved. And I went to India. And in India, I jumped into all the possible workshops, from hypnosis, opening to self-love, to tantra, to sacred sexuality, to breath work. And I've done a lot of work on myself, internal work. And it was such a moment. I remember, I was sitting near the swimming pool, in one of the meditation resorts. And I felt like finally, I totally, completely fell head over heels in love with myself and with my life. And it was just such a joy to experience this love, from deep within, coming from within me. And life became such a delight. And at the same time, the way I was looking at other people was different. I saw them, everyone was just so beautiful, and I felt so connected. And I really felt it was like, welcome home, Tarisha. This is your home. This is how life is supposed to be. And so from that point, I started to look for answers. How can I make relationships work? I found this deep connection with myself, but how can I make intimate life relationship work? And I learned from relationship experts all around the world, people like, Tony Robbins, Havel Hendricks, Alistair Armstrong, Sue Johnson, John Gottman, and many, many others, because I was really on a search, and I traveled around the world on this deep soul-searching journey, figuring out how can I create loving and lasting relationships, and what attracts me into women, and how to keep that attraction and passion over the years. Because I know marriage is about friendship and really being there for each other and supporting each other, but I'm not willing to settle for a relationship without passionate connection as well. And that's the difference between, just friends and lovers. And, when I was on my search, I met people who were together for 30 years and they were still passionately in love with each other, right? And I knew if other people could do it, then I could do it too. And so that's how I've developed my own system, Reignite Your Love System. And it really changed my life and the way I was doing relationships. And now I really know that the most important relationship I have is with myself. And I nourish this relationship deeply. I appreciate my own body. I feel connected to myself. Now I love being a woman, where before I always wanted to be a boy. Like when I was little, I thought, boys have much easier life. And so this connection to myself really allows me to have deep, fulfilling relationship with others because I can be really there. And also now I know that I need to nurture my relationships to make them grow. I can't just sit back and assume that they should work out. Okay, and so this is me with my family. We have 2 little children, very delightful children. I'm very happy and so much in love with them. And once I connected to myself, once I started to feel better about myself, I opened myself up to receive more support from others. And that was a big key for me, to receive support from others. Because before I thought, I'm just here, I can do it all myself. I can't rely on anyone. I shouldn't rely on anyone. And so when I was about to finish writing my book, Deeply in Love Again, an essential guide for the modern woman to get the spark back and enjoy the relationship she really wants, I had a fallout with my editor, and I just went into this deep hole of depression. I was like thinking, oh, who needs it? Look at me trying to teach people. I just don't know enough. I can't even speak proper English. And I hid in my wardrobe and I cried for hours. But my partner really helped me out of this hole. He read my book. He gave me really good critique, and he was my best editor and supported me while I found another editor. And so with his support, the book is published now. And now when I open my book, I know it's got such gems of wisdom there. I even sometimes wonder, like, how could I have written that? It sounds so good. And I know the book is benefiting other women. So I know that it's so important for us to feel supported and nourished in order to bring our highest potential into the world. Because we just can't do great work in the world without the loving support of others. It's impossible. And I know we're all strong, independent women, right? But there's such a joy and relaxation that comes from the knowledge of I don't have to do it all by myself. There's someone else who supports me. There's someone else who I can count on in good times and bad times. Yeah, so feel like how would it be for you when you know that there's support for you no matter what? And that's what I really want for you. That's why I love doing my work and helping women to get the affection and support that they want from their relationships and their lives, so they can do bigger things in the world. They can really step out in their full brilliance, full radiance. And right now, if you're in a safe place, if you can just close your eyes and imagine feeling supported by your man. Like he's there for you and he cheers you up when you feel down. And imagine how would it feel to be adored by your partner and given the love that you want, making you feel loved and cherished in the way that works best for you. And just imagine enjoying deep and meaningful talks with each other late into the night, sharing what's really happening in both your lives. Imagine sharing laughter, walks on the beach hand in hand, and whatever else brings you joy. Paint your own picture and feel into that picture. How would your life be different? Yeah, so right in this moment, step into the feeling of being intimately connected with your partner, having lots of excitement and adventure. Because you can have all of this. Yes, it is possible. That's what I'm here to tell you. It is possible. And what I know about you is that you're ready to take action and create the relationship you desire, right? You don't want to settle for an ordinary life and feel bored and unfulfilled in your relationship. Am I right? You want to experience profound intimacy and real love. And you're ready to learn how to achieve this. You are being open. And I know you're going to be really glad that you joined me today. And this openness is the key for you. openness to learn how to be in a relationship. And I'm just so delighted that you have stepped forward, that you are willing to take an active part in transforming your relationship. And I know that you are a thoughtful and bright woman, and you feel deep inside your heart that there is more to life and love, that this is not it. You know you can have more joy, and it is possible to create deeper and tender intimacy with your partner. Right? And I'm absolutely certain that you can create a new future that is bigger, that is stronger, that is deeper, and more passionate. So I'm all about passion, deep connection and passion. Okay, so let's dive into our topic today, the naked truth about men. Discover 3 crucial differences between men and women and how you can resolve these issues that are caused by these differences. It's very important. And so I found while coaching my private practice that most of the time we assume that we should know how to create harmonious relationships. But the fact is that we were never taught how to create a relationship with a man who thinks quite differently from us. Most of the time we're even led to believe that men are essentially just, hairy, physically stronger, copy of us, and that they perceive the world in the same way. And it's just so far away from truth. So we never taught how to relate to men, to inspire them to love us. We were never taught how to fulfill both our needs and those of our partner at the same time, and do so with ease and grace for the pleasure of you both. That's the secret, pleasure. Mostly it's, usually with couples, and I work with lots of couples, mostly it's tug of war or trade between two partners. I give you this if you give me this. Once you stop giving me what I want, I'll stop giving you what you want. And I have my private practice, and I see lots of couples coming to me, and that becomes, their way of operating with each other. What can I get off you? And how can I get things for myself? And quite often we spend all of our energy on our professional life and children, and we forget to nourish our relationships. Is this true for you? And I wonder if you have deeper relationship with your work than with your partner. I know it can be very overwhelming, right, to try and figure out how to create a successful career and thriving family, then look after yourself and at the same time nourish your intimate relationship. There's a lot of things to juggle. And maybe now you're at the stage where you feel hopeless, as if you could never make it work for you, never have it all. But it doesn't have to be this way. I know you can have it all. You don't have to sacrifice your work or your relationship. You can be successful at both, and that's what we're here for. That's what inspires me to do my work, and I know there's a way to transform our pain into love and pleasure and passion. And the good news is that it's a lot easier than you think. It's not such a hard work, and it's very enjoyable work, well, from my point of view, because I love my work. And so here's a success story from one of my clients to spur you on. My relationship with my husband was almost destroyed, and with Tarisha's help, I understand my husband so much better. Now I'm so much more connected to myself, and the intimacy between us now is so much deeper. This is amazing, right? Like, what would it mean to you to understand your partner and enjoy a deep, intimate connection? How would your life be different? And it really touches me to receive this kind of feedback and to know I help change someone's life and relationship. And I wonder, are you ready for the same transformation? Because I assure you, it is possible. Okay, so now let's look at what happens when we're not happy in our relationships. So first of all, you might be feeling frustrated and dissatisfied deep down. And life has become boring, and you find that there's no sense of wonder and excitement anymore. You might be feeling unfulfilled and uninspired, and your creativity suffers. And you are not as bright and shiny as you could be, and you don't express your best self into the world. And as a result, you are not as successful in your work as you could be if you had an inspiring relationship. And just check with yourself, is this where you are at? Okay, secondly, if you have lots of disagreements with your partner and you can't relax and rejuvenate at home, then the day-to-day is all becoming too stressful. And the relationship drains you rather than supports you. And I wonder if that sounds familiar for you. And then what happens that sets up a circle of exhaustion. And you step further and further away from your radiant feminine nature. Because I know your essence is radiant. And then your life stops flowing with miracles of synchronicity. You start to feel like, you have to work harder and really push to get anything out of life. And so it brings even more stress. We all need loving relationships to let go of stress and nourish our feminine nature for the life to flow. So check with yourself. Are you caught in the circle of exhaustion? Is this you? Or maybe what's happening for you is that resentment you have toward your partner might sneak out in your communication with other people and create anxiety and animosity with other people. Worst of all, you might not be as patient with your kids if you don't feel supported by your partner, which creates even more stress in the family. And it's totally understandable, right? If you don't feel supported, if you're exhausted, that you don't have as much patience. And it's okay. It's not your fault. But check with yourself. Is that what's happening for you? Do you have less patience than you would have if you were really feeling supported and loved? Okay, and maybe you're at a stage where you don't feel understood and supported. And so the problem here is that you can't live your highest potential without the support. And sometimes life might seem like a hard thing to do without the strong foundation of a happy, healthy relationship. Is this you? That you sense there is more possible for you in life, but you you just can't step there. And needless to say, our children suffer. And I'm sure children learn more from what they see rather than what they're told, right? So you are their role model, and they learn from you about how to create loving and caring relationships. And your children will create similar dynamics in their own lives, purely based on the model you are giving them. So there is a lot at stake. And now you might be listening that none of this applied to you, and that's okay. You're welcome here as well, and I'm very happy for you. And you might be thinking that everything is okay and none of the above applies, but however, I know that if there is no deep intimate connection, it just can be so easy to lose your relationship. And what I know from my experience is that the longer you feel disconnected, the more you will drift apart, until eventually it'll be really hard to revive the passion, and you might even separate. And that's not what I want for you. And I know if you act now, you can turn your relationship around. You can bring more connection, bring more passion, bring more joy. And just think of all those years living without love, the wasted years of life. And imagine how much more joyful your life will become and how successful you will be at work once you feel loved and supported by your partner. And if none of the above applies to you, and if you're really happy in your relationship, and you are here just to learn the differences between men and women, and to bring even more joy, then you're welcome here as well. And it's wonderful that even though you feel very happy in your relationship, you want to put energy on it. And I know that that's why you're happy in your relationship, because you do put energy into your relationship. So I very welcome you here. Okay, so how can we create a fulfilling, loving relationship? And first of all, we need to understand each other. And you have the 9 secrets that men will never tell you in the report. And now I will share with you more differences between men and women that keep most women feeling frustrated and unsupported, and sometimes controlled and not cared for. And I know that once you know these differences, you'll be amazed at how easy it is to get along with your partner, and you'll be able to let go of some of the resentment you might have now. And this is feedback I got from a man, because I work with women and men and couples, and he said that Tarisha provided some vital insights into the way I, as a man, think and react, and how differently women think and react to those same actions, in a way that no man could do. and my relationship with women will forever be enhanced. And that's my goal for you, to understand your partner better so your relationship is forever enhanced. And there is one important distinction I need to make here before we go into the differences. And I have talked about it in the report that you have already. So both men and women have masculine and feminine energies. No one is 100% feminine, no one is 100% masculine. It would be a really hard life if we were. And at different points in our lives, we use more of each particular energy. So in the following differences, when I talk about a woman, I mean a person who's got more feminine energy at a particular moment. And when I talk about a man, I mean a person who's using more of a masculine energy at a particular time. So for some differences, your experience of the problems could be reversed, right? And I'll make this clear as we go through the differences, okay? Now just grab a glass of water. Okay. So crucial difference number 3, connecting versus problem solving. So a woman shares her problems and emotions in order to connect, but men try to solve the problem rather than empathize. So when a man shares a problem, he wants to find a solution. For him, it's obvious. Why else would he talk about it? And especially with his love partner, he wants to solve her problems. He wants to make her happy. And I wonder if you have encountered this problem in your relationship. Maybe you wanted to share your feelings and all you got was him trying to fix you. And then maybe you started to feel uncared for, unheard, unloved. So to overcome this difference, set yourself up for success. And what you need to do is to say, I just want you to listen. When you listen to me, it makes me feel cared for and connected. And I don't need you to solve this problem for me. Right? So that's how you set yourself up for success. You tell him what you need. And this could be a vulnerable thing that you need to learn, to tell your partner what you need. And then know that it's hard for him to listen without solving your problem. So appreciate him, really appreciate him when he does. And if he jumps in with a solution, see it as an expression of his love for you. Right? This is the most important point. You need to understand his motivation for jumping in with a solution. Because usually he just wants to help you, to protect you, and to make your life easier and happier. Okay? And that's a very important. Understand his motivation. And assume the best of his motivation. And yes, as I said earlier, so a note here, if you are a high-achieving woman, you might be the one who is always trying to solve problems. And maybe your partner just wants to be heard. So check with yourself in your interaction with your partner. Who is trying to solve the problem and who is trying to be heard? And if there's a mismatch. And so now I'll take you through an exercise. And for this exercise, if it's safe for you to do so, I invite you to maybe close your eyes and find an incident where you are on the receiving side of control and problem solving of your partner. Just see that incident, so it's just happening right now. And later you can do the same exercise, reversing the roles and feeling into how it is to be the one who controls or problem solves, and how does it affect your partner. Okay, so right now remember the last time your partner tried to solve your problem and you felt upset about it. Imagine as if you're there right now in this moment. Maybe he said something that sounded controlling or abrupt to you, something like no, or don't do this, or we won't go there, or you need to do this and that, or why haven't you done that? So got it? And so step into that situation, imagine this happened just now, and notice what happens in your body. Are you tense, or do you have an urge to run away? How do you feel? Do you feel angry, sad, hurt, or frustrated? And now check with yourself. What is your presumption about his actions? Why do you think he's jumping in with a solution? Is it because he's always trying to fix you? Does he think you are stupid, or that he thinks he knows better? Or do you think he just doesn't care enough about you to listen? What is it for you? Become very clear about your presumption of his actions, of his behavior. Okay, and so now open your eyes and write your presumption down. Why did you think he's done what he's done? Okay, you got it? Wrote it down? It's very important to write it down, to make it obvious, to get it out of your subconscious. And so now just shake a bit. Move your body, take a deep breath. Let's all together take a deep breath. Let some sigh out. Let's take another deep breath. And shake your body, move your shoulders, move your neck, roll your neck. Okay. And so now, if you have space, just take a step forward. And with that step, you choose to step in a different presumption. Right? So physically make a step forward and decide that he offered a solution because he loves you. He cares about you. And he wants to make your life better. And maybe right now your mind says, no, that's impossible, that can't happen. Acknowledge that thought and still choose to step in this new presumption. He offered a solution because he loves me, he cares about me, and he wants to make my life better. And now notice what happens when you step into this different presumption. Close your eyes, breathe into your body, and just start feeling what happens with your body. How do you feel? Do you feel more relaxed, more open, maybe more loving? How does it feel? And if a thought comes, no, it's impossible, he doesn't do it because he cares about me. Acknowledge that thought and choose to step in the presumption that he loves me and that's why he does that. Okay? And so now check in with yourself from this different presumption. Are you able to tell him in a loving way that you don't want your problems to be solved, but you would really appreciate him just listening to you? And so this is the key to reconcile this difference between men and women. You need to change your presumption and step into your curiosity. And then maybe even ask him, I sense that you're trying to solve this problem for me. And I wonder, why do you want to do this for me? And then share what is it that you really need from him in this moment. Is it just listening, being there for you? And a note here that if you ask him without changing your presumption first, he'll probably feel judged and maybe disrespected. And he won't be willing to share with you what's really going on with him, right? Because if you tell him, I don't need you to solve my problem, and the energy will be quite, slightly aggressive, then he won't be open to you, right? So your curiosity and your openness is the key to stopping unnecessary arguments. Changing your presumptions, stepping into curiosity and openness. And if you need to, you ask him. You really find out what's going on with him. So set yourself up for success and don't just assume that your partner knows what you need. And don't think if he loved you more, he would know and listen better. Because from his point of view, there's no point in listening without helping you to solve your problems. And when you push his advice away, he feels disrespected and undervalued. He closes down and is less likely to give you the affection and support you need. Because in his view, you're pushing his support away. What's the point of offering more? And so also, a good thing to do is to set time with your girlfriends to just talk and process your problems. Because it's easier for women to listen and empathize. And sometimes Allow your partner to solve your problems and to contribute to your happiness. When you receive his problem-solving gift, you are giving him a gift in return, and he'll start to feel valued. You know that you really want his contribution to your life, and he really wants to contribute, even if sometimes it just doesn't feel like that. Okay, so this is crucial difference number 3. Problem solving versus empathizing. So now to crucial difference number 2. It's different focus. And men are focused on problems and actions. And that's how they're able to accomplish so much, right? It's a gift. It's a quality to admire. So when he's watching TV, he forgot your anniversary, when he's late for your date, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. And sometimes you might interpret his forgetfulness as, I'm not good enough for him. If only I was more beautiful, slimmer, sexier, taller, shorter, whatever your version of it is, he would pay more attention to me. And then we get upset and we feel bad about ourselves. And then we might start blaming and criticizing him in order to cover up our pain. And just check with yourself if that's what you do. Being very honest and being open, just with curiosity. I wonder if I do this without judging you. Because it's not, if you're going to judge yourself, it's not going to help you. You will get stuck in that feeling. But just being curious, I wonder if that's what I do. Do I sometimes make it mean that he doesn't love me enough or that I'm not good enough for him when he doesn't pay attention to me? And so what would work better is to make a request, to tell him exactly what you want to and when, and then act as a reminder. And you'll be able to act as a reminder if you remember that he just can't keep a lot of details about life in his mind all at once. Because when he's focused on the problem he's solving, that's what he's focused on. And remembering functional life details is not a masculine strength. Okay, and so in contrast, we women, or people who got more feminine energy at one moment, women are focused on emotions and connection with others. So if we feel upset or hurt, we take that upset into everything we do. We can't just get over it. We need to discuss and process our emotions. And we're very focused on connection. So if we don't feel connected, we need to do something about it. We're not satisfied with not having enough connection. And so in the physical world, women pay attention to everything at once. And we need this quality because, it's harder for us to focus on one action at a time. And imagine if we were focused on cooking food and let our baby crawl into the fire, right? That'd be disastrous. So actually, for women, focusing on one thing is not a useful skill. We need to keep an eye on our environment. This is our gift. This is what we bring into the relationship. And male and female complement each other. And so if you are, a highly achieving woman, if you need to, in your professional life, if you really need to use your focus, it means you step more into your masculine energy. And so there where the roles could be reversed. And so your partner might step more into the feminine energy around you. And maybe you've noticed how sometimes it's hard for you to focus on one project. And as women, we have such an urge to multitask. And I know that about myself. It's like, I really need to focus on this one thing, but there are 100 other things that need to be done. And I just want to do them all at once. But then I know I can't achieve as much if I do them all at once. So I need to call on my masculine energy to keep me focused. And so your partner might get hurt when you listen to him and then you suddenly start talking about, the table that needs to be cleaned. The curtains or something else, like these functional details of life. You just notice something and you interrupt and tell him that needs to be done and this needs to be done and this is how it is. And I know you don't do this on purpose, right? But he might feel disrespected and undervalued because you're not listening to him and you're bringing these details of life that don't matter to him. And so to avoid this problem, you need to set yourself up for success again. You need to ask him if what he's about to tell you is important to him. Right? Because sometimes, we might be cooking and he comes and he starts talking to us, but we can't stop cooking and doing things right in that moment. So you need to ask him, are you wanting to tell me something important? And then if yes, it's something important, then you need to find an environment and time without distractions. So, you can just tell him, just hold on, I'll finish this and then I can listen to you. And then try to give him your complete attention. And you can try asking him to touch you while he talks, because that usually works well to keep us focused. And for big talks, for really something really important, it's even better to get out of your house, because there are always things that need to be done in the house, and it's harder for us to stay focused on the conversation in the house. We're more likely to jump into doing something else. And another tip is count till 30 in your mind before saying something after he stopped talking, because most probably he will share something even deeper. Because men take, when they share with us, they really take it seriously and they want to share from their depth, and they need time to go there. So listen and be curious. I wonder, why is this important to him? I wonder what he really means. And try not to get upset and take things that he says personally. Because when you listen, it's not about you, it's about him, it's about his experience. And that's where lots of couples create disconnection and arguments. One partner starts to share what's really going on for them, and the other partner gets triggered and just can't listen. And so, partners feel like there's no one there for me. And so listening to your man in this way will create deeper intimacy and understanding, and it will allow him to trust you more and bring both of you closer together. And that's what we want, right? You want deeper intimacy, you want deeper connection. So learning how to listen to him is such an important skill. And so again, if you use more of your masculine energy in your life, then the dynamic with your partner might be reversed. You might be the one with a single focus in the physical world, and your partner might be focusing more on his emotions and connection. So check with yourself, which one are you? Okay, so this is your second difference, and it's very important for you to implement this, right? To set yourself up for success, to really see what's going on in your relationship and take a different action now that you know the differences. And so to crucial difference number one, and it's that communication isn't just talking. And I wonder, if you be honest, do you think that communication is just talking? Like when you talk, we don't communicate well. Is it that, like verbal communication isn't good? And so a woman establishes connection mostly by talking. And that's why we love to talk. We need to connect, and we can't stand being disconnected. Does this look familiar? So that was a really funny picture. And we usually think that communication means talking, and so we want our men to communicate with us through talking. Like, is it you? Check with yourself. And so when they don't talk to us to the same extent as we do, we get upset and frustrated. And sometimes, again, we even decide that he doesn't love us enough, or that he's emotionally unavailable, or even that there's something else wrong with him. And I wonder, what's your explanation? If you're in a position where your partner doesn't talk as much as you do, what is your decision? Why is this happening? And that's very important to know your decision. Yeah, so we end up trying to make a girlfriend out of our men. And the thing is, if a man talks to the same extent as a woman, usually we are not as turned on by him, right? Usually he's a wonderful friend, but we want a real man for a lover. Just check with yourself, is this true for you? And sometimes if we don't get enough communication, this verbal communication, and we feel abandoned and not loved, we start demanding conversations. But usually this doesn't go well, and I wonder, what's your experience? Usually, if we start demanding to talk more, it brings even more feelings of disconnect into the relationship. And we wonder, why is that happening? Obviously, we're not meant to be together, or he doesn't love me, or there's something wrong with him, or there's something wrong with me. What's your explanation? And so in this way, mainstream relationship therapy is quite female-oriented, because it demands a man to relate the same way women do. And so my guess is that's why traditional therapy, can lack its effectiveness. So communication doesn't mean just talking, right? Touch and doing things together works way better for a man to connect and communicate with you, especially in silence. And sex is the best way to connect with your man because men feel love through sex. And the deep desire behind having sex apart from procreation is to connect. So our animal nature wants sex to procreate, but our human spirit craves connection. And I know this is a big generalization, right? I know. But however, women want to talk a lot and men want to have sex a lot. That's what our culture, that's everyone kind of talks about it. But it serves the same purpose, feeling connected. And so there's no need to criticize each other, which is something I think both sexes are guilty of. Men go and judge women, oh, she just talks too much. And women judge men, oh, he just wants to have sex all the time. It's the same, it serves the same purpose, to feel connected. Okay, so now that you know this difference, I hope you won't judge your man for his way of fulfilling his need for love and connection. And the best plan is to find a way to fulfill each other's needs. So try to talk to your girlfriends every day, and then they allow it and they understand you. Fulfill most of your need to connect through talking with your girlfriends. And of course, it's wonderful to share deep conversations with your partner, and he'll really appreciate it. But not the day-to-day functional aspects of your life, because this reduces the romance. If you start to talk about, what happened through the day, all the little things, it's really hard to keep the passion alive. And I know, some men think it would be wonderful if their woman came home having had enough conversations for the day and just wanted silently connect through touch. So yeah, as I say again, of course, it's very important to have conversations that really matter, to share what's really going on for you, for both of you. And on the other hand, you need to learn how to enjoy physical love if you don't already. And I wonder if this is you. How do you feel about sexual intimacy with your partner? What's happening there for you? And you need to learn how to receive energy and love through sex. So it fulfills you, it brings you pleasure, it nourishes you. And it is possible. I know this idea is, could be a bit foreign for some people because most of the time, somehow in our culture, we believe that we give sex to a man. Which from my experience, is totally untrue. Just that's what we've been taught. But actually, men give so much through physical loving, and if as women we're open to receive it, we can, regain our energy. So at the end of a hard day, you come home and your partner makes love to you. It can replenish you. It can really give you energy, sustains you. And so you need to teach your man how to give you what you need through sex. And you need to connect to your body to start loving yourself. And then you'll love it and you will want to satisfy his need for connection. And then he'll be more open to listening to you more, to being present for you, for your need to connect through conversations. And so you can learn more about how to have a fulfilling and connected sex life when you join my 21-day Fire Up Your Connection Challenge. Because it is a big subject and there's a lot about practicing connecting to your own body. Okay, so now you know the crucial differences between men and women. And I wonder, how will you use this information? Will you just listen and forget about it? Or will you implement my tips? Will you make the two deadly mistakes that destroy love? And I see so many women making these mistakes. And so, yeah, let's talk about these two deadly mistakes that destroy love, because I really hope that you won't be one of the women who make these mistakes. Okay, so here's deadly mistake number 1. Wait for your partner to change. Wait for him to take the lead. Because most women, even smart, successful women who know how to achieve success in other areas of their life, they wait for their partner to change to give them affection and support. Will it ever happen? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe. Is it what you do in your work when you want to achieve something? Do you wait for others to somehow create it for you? Or do you decide what you want and take steps towards your goal? And I reckon you jump into it action, right? Otherwise you wouldn't achieve anything. So why do we wait for our men to change? And to love us the way we want to? Why do we give our power away in the most important area of our lives, our relationships? And here's what I recommend. Learn how to relate to your partner in a way that promotes love and understanding. And change the way you are in the relationship by stepping into your power. So when I say that you have, the power to change your relationship, I don't mean that you need to control your partner. I don't mean that you need to control the relationship, because that's not going to work. What I mean is that you need to change the way you're being in your relationship. You need to step into your power. You need to ignite your radiance, because this is the most powerful way to get the love you desire, to be fulfilled and happy, because it gives you the power to create the relationship you desire, you really want. So rather than waiting for love to happen in your life, you can change your relationship single-handedly. And so you really need to realize, and this is such a key, you have the power to change your relationship. And this is my message for you. It is possible to create the relationship you've always wanted. The power is all in your hands. Think about it. You can even create life. And so in ancient times, a woman was honored as a goddess because she could create life. And the role of men in procreation was unknown, and people believed women somehow mysteriously created life inside their wombs. And women were honored as powerful and magical beings. And so this is the most important mindset shift. You are not a victim of what your partner does or doesn't do. You are a powerful creator. So, use your power to create what you desire. And maybe you just don't know how to do it, which is not that hard to learn, and I'll share with you later on how to go about it. But by being on this call, you are taking action, and this tells me that you know you have the power and that you can influence your power to give you what you need, right? Am I right? And so during our 21-day Fire Up Your Connection challenge, we will go into greater depth on this topic so that you discover all the ways you can influence your mind to help you create the relationship you really want. And you'll be amazed once you see how tremendously powerful you are. And you know what? The side benefit of it is that you'll become more powerful in your work. And you'll create more success for yourself once you realize your full power as a co-creator in life. How does that sound? Great, right? Okay, so now to deadly mistake number 2. Not actively nourishing your relationship. And this is mistake I was making in my first marriage. We focus on our work. We give our soul and body to our kids. We put lots of energy into our social life. We do big things, and we really want to make a difference in the world. We want to have a purposeful life. But then somehow we really focus on our intimate relationships. We just assume that they should somehow work out. And I wonder, are you guilty of this mistake? Has your to-do list taken over your life? And are you having a deeper relationship with your business rather than your partner? Or maybe you spend all your energy nourishing others so that at the end of the day you have no energy for your partner and he is starving for intimacy. And so your relationship is starving for intimacy. Because it's not just about your partner, right? It's about seeing your relationship as a separate entity. And that separate being needs nourishment to thrive. And so let me tell you that your feminine essence is starving as well, but you put yourself last on the list. Is this true for you? And I know that relationships have the potential to fill us up, and delicious lovemaking really enlivens our bodies. We can actually receive energy through sex if we're open to it. And yeah, I wonder if you feel like, again, like that you only give sex and it drains you. So it's time to change your assumptions and your focus, to pay attention to your love life so that you start to feel supported and deeply loved. But again, as I said, you need to put energy and time into your relationship. And that's exactly why I've created my 21-day Fire Up Your Connection challenge. And as I said in the beginning, I'll share with you how you can receive more of my support, and how you can implement the tips that I gave you today and see your relationship change, because it's all in implementation. And so 21-day challenge, it's really a perfect companion to the Learn to Speak Manguage course. And it will give you all the support that you need to create more love and understand your relationship. And more importantly, you will have great accountability structure to encourage you through our private Facebook group. And so if you click on the link, there should be a link somewhere on the screen, or you can go to this website. It's deeplyinloveagain.com/21-day-challenge-program. Right? If you go there, that's you'll learn more about 21-day Fire Up Your Connection challenge. And in that challenge, I will walk you through 21 practices, and they'll be complete with an email and a video for each day. And don't worry about the time commitment. These practices are simple, but they are very profound, and usually they won't take you more than 10-20 minutes each day. And this is the beauty of this program, because I know you're a busy woman and you don't want to waste your time on just information, right? There's a lot of information around there. But what you need is a focused attention on your relationship. And so my simple practices will give you exactly that. And so you will receive an email from me with a practice every second day, so you have enough time to implement. And you will receive a total of 21 practices. It'll be over 42 days, I think. Yeah. And so there is also an opportunity to take the practices deeper if you wish. And I'm here to support you in whatever you choose. I will give you advanced practices on each day, and it's up to you if you want to go there. But I know even if you do the simple, basic practice, it will improve your relationship dramatically. And this challenge will really inspire you and support you. Because remember, you need support. We all need support to create the relationship you really want. And so the benefits are huge, changing your relationship, right? You'll rediscover your radiance. And you'll become more magnetic to people and opportunities because you'll be happier. And your life will become easier. You'll connect to your flow once you feel your body. And once you feed your body with delicious lovemaking with your partner. And then you'll be able to create more success in your life. Because you'll be happy, you'll be more fulfilled, you'll have more power, you'll have more passion. So imagine your partner supporting you, giving you exactly what you need. What else would you want to do in your life with all that support? What projects would you like to take on that you weren't taking on? And how will it affect your social life and your health? And so here's a success story, another success story from one of my clients. And she says, I feel like I was given a new life. I can't believe my relationship with my husband changed so much. We're again in love as 20 years ago. But now this feels so much deeper. And this is from Susan, who lives in Auckland, New Zealand. And so think about it for a second. Again in love. That's amazing, don't you think? And so at this point you might be thinking, that's awesome for Suzanne, but that's not going to happen for me. We're so stuck. There is no way in a million years that we're going to fall in love again. But I tell you, if you had asked Suzanne before she attended my workshop, she probably would have been very suspicious if it was possible for her as well. So if you join my 21-day Fire Up Your Connection challenge, there is just no way, absolutely no way to know where you will be 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, 5 weeks from now. But you need to invest your time and energy for it to work successfully. And so if you're thinking that you don't have time right now, let me ask you, when will be the right time? And money always comes and goes, right? We get paid, we spend, we get paid. Money is a renewable resource. But if you spend a day, a month, a year without the love and affection that you want, will this time come back? And no, it won't, right? So why are you willing to spend time without a deep, intimate connection, knowing that this time will never come back? And do you think at the end of your life the amount of money you have will matter to you? The amount of success you had? Or will it be the loving time you spent with your beloved and your family? And recent Harvard Studies show that having a happy relationship is the biggest predictor of how long we live and how happy and fulfilled we are in life. It's not about work, it's not about money, it's not about friendships, it's more about this loving, intimate relationship with your one special person. And so if you don't do anything today, what will happen tomorrow? Nothing, right? Because old habits are so hard to change, old relationship patterns that for most of us come from our parents are not going to change just from reading books. And you can read all the books you want, but if you don't get support, you just can't change your habits. And so you need support to practice life transforming conversations with your partner. And you can't change your habits on your own. And that's exactly why I'm offering you this 21-day Fire Up Your Connection challenge. And so the only way to break your habit of interaction is to get the support. And so the 21-day challenge is really full of practices for each day. And so that you can implement my tips each day and you can get support each day while doing them. And that's where, the most important thing is. That's where the juice is. That's where the transformation. Doing it and getting support right there. And you know that according to the International Coaching Federation, people achieve 90% more success when they work with a coach. And why? Again, because it's hard to change our habits without help and accountability. So I really invite you, if you are serious about changing your relationship habits, register for the 21-day challenge. And as I said before, you will get an email with a practice and a video every second day for 41 days, 42 days, but you will get in total 21 practices. And they will walk you step by step through the areas you need to focus on in your relationship. And you know what's the best thing is? That it won't take you too much time. So you'll be able to have it all. You'll have success in love and success in your work. And so we'll cover areas such as how to step into your radiance, how to stop arguing with your partner about how is work and parenting, how to flirt more, how to bring that playfulness into your relationship. Also, how to get what you need. You'll practice asking for what you need and receive my support on what works and what doesn't. And I'll even give you some tantric practices to spice up your love life. How good is that? You'll discover secret number 1 to get more affection. And you'll be amazed because it's not what you think. And you really figure out what works in your relationship and what doesn't work and what areas you really need to focus on. And you'll notice your relationship in just 20 minutes a day. How good is that? And here is what Emma said after she's done 21-day challenge and activated her feminine magnet, as I say, that her normal Kiwi block started to be romantic. And she says romance is creeping into our lives. And I'm connecting to my feminine and flirty self, the impact with us, romance. And that's from Emma, and she lives in Auckland. She's a wonderful woman. And so, some people use a lot of excuses to keep themselves in a stuck place. And you can come up with a lot of excuses that, you don't have money right now, you don't have time, you need to buy some more stuff, you need to do that and that. But what I know is that what really matters is your happiness and a deeply loving, satisfying relationship. So please, please invest your time, invest your care into your relationship. And implement. Even what you've learned today, it's so important to implement. Don't just set that knowledge aside. And so here is my offer for you, the 21-day Fire Up Your Connection Challenge. And here is what you're going to get. You will get 21 practices to nourish your relationship and get this pack bag. And it's valued at $900. You'll get tantric tools to enjoy blissful lovemaking. And the value is $100, but I think it's way more than that. Number 3, you'll get inspiring vision for your relationship so that you step into true partnership with your beloved. And value is $100. And As I said, you'll get private Facebook group membership to get support from other women. And what's more important is that you realize that you're not alone and you'll support each other on your way. So you'll be able to implement and ask each other questions. And the value of that support is $500. And so the total value is $1,600. So, and you won't have to pay that much, I promise you. So who this has worked for? It includes a woman who has been married for 14 years and she has two young kids, and she thought her relationship was good enough, but she thought they just didn't have enough time to enjoy each other, right? So what she discovered was that it wasn't about time. Somehow, when she connected on a deeper level with her husband, they somehow started to have way more time for each other. Interesting, huh? So another woman that it worked for was a woman married for over 25 years with grown-up children and whose relationship was almost destroyed, in her own words. And after working with me, she started to experience intimacy she never thought was possible. I think that's the most amazing story. And also, another woman in her second marriage, and she was married for 4 years, and she felt unsupported and frustrated, that they were too different and that he just doesn't want to change. And after working with me, they finally saw each other. They really saw each other, understood each other. And she realized that he didn't have to change. It was more about her finding herself and asking for what she really needs. And so why do you need to pay attention to your relationship right now? And as I said earlier, 50% of all marriages end in divorce. And only 25% of all couples say they're happy. And relationships are what makes us happy. People in happy relationships live longer. They do more fun stuff. They have more friends. So do you want to be in that 25% of happy couples? Or are you willing to settle for just a mediocre relationship? So how good will it feel for you to love more, to feel deeply connected and love with your partner? And I know that when you solve your relationship issues, think about all the extra energy you'll have left over for your work project, for your social life, for yourself. Because when we have problems in our relationships, it just takes so much energy, takes so much space. Just see yourself now bragging to your girlfriends about, wow, how wonderful and exciting your relationship is. And join our community and be one of the few women who have the courage to learn new ways of relating and willingness to put their attention on love. Because you can only win. Success is inevitable, I tell you. Success is totally inevitable. And so what you're going to get is 21 practices to nourish your relationship. And as I said, you will have 2 days for each practice. Because I've done it before, having a practice every day, but people feel a bit, that's a bit too much. They need more space. So you will get a practice every second day. And you'll get tantric tools to enjoy blissful lovemaking. You'll get inspiring vision for your relationship so that you step in true partnership. And then also you'll get private Facebook group membership to get support from other women, where you will realize you are not alone. You could share with others what's happening for you. And so the total value of this package is $1,600. And I was thinking, what else do you need? And I know, of course, you need personal support, right? To figure out what's working, what's not working in your relationship. And I thought, yeah, you really need to be able to ask me questions specific to your situation. Because I know there are lots of do-it-yourself programs around, but do they really help? And will they really work for your relationship? Maybe yes, maybe no. And that's why I'm including my personal support via our private Facebook group. And I'll answer your specific questions, specific to your relationship. I will cheer you on your way to an exciting and supportive relationship. And I'll hold your hand while you solve your problems. And we'll give you more tips on how to communicate with your man. Because he's unique, right? You can't just read books and apply, whatever you learn to any man. Everyone is different. And so this is really your opportunity to get my expert support for free. And I charge my private clients upwards of $3,500. And just imagine what would it do for you, having answers to your specific questions. And so what you're gonna get is 21-day practices to nourish your relationship. You'll get tantric tools to enjoy blissful lovemaking. You'll get the inspiring vision for your relationship. You'll get private Facebook group membership. And also you'll get my unlimited expert support via our private Facebook group. And the value of that is 1,000. And you'll be able to ask me any questions. And I'll be there every day, checking every day and talking to you. So not only will you be able to, share with other women, you'll be able to ask me. And so the total value of this package is 2,600, and you won't have to pay that. So what else do you need? You've got 21 practices, right, to transform your relationship, a community of other women who are on the same journey, plus my expert support. And I was thinking, what else will really make a difference? And I thought about it, and I think it's a good idea to find out, what specific areas you need to improve in your relationship. What's really not working. Because you can't change your relationship if you don't know exactly what's not working. Does this make sense? So I've decided I'm also including a relationship health assessment as a second bonus, and it's valued at $47. And I wonder if all this did was stop your intimacy destroying arguments. Would it be worth it? And I think so. It would, right? What if all this did for you was created more delightful, intimate moments with your partner? Would it be worth it? And of course it would, right? What if all this did for you was brought you the support and affection that you want? Would it be worth it? And I don't know about you, but I don't want to live my life without support and adoration. I'm here to love and be loved to the fullest. And I know that we all spend a lot of money on day-to-day things, cars, food, clothing. Isn't it time to invest in your relationship? Because let's be honest, things don't make you happy, but love does. And you can go on romantic holidays, once a year with your partner, trying to get the spark back. But I know it's our day-to-day interactions that really make a difference. You might have a great time during holidays, but what happens when you come back? Does the romance stay, or does it just simply slip away? So you need to nourish your relationship on a daily basis. That's what really matters, daily basis, daily practice to enjoy more passion. In everyday life, as if you are on holidays, imagine, how would that be? And so I'm sure you can see why this my program is worth $2,600, right? And anyways, I told you you're really not going to have to pay that much. And I did take some time figuring out how to price this so I could support as many people as possible. So here is another success story for my clients. And they say, it's a woman, Jo, and she's been in a relationship for about 30 years, I think, and they have two grown-up children. And that's what she says. Our relationship is so good now. There's so much more depth. When we were young, we didn't have this amount of depth and intimacy. And now I feel confident in myself. I'm able to express a full range of my emotions. I'm able to express my love whenever I feel like it. I'm authentic, and I feel how I bring so much more depth, more of myself to our relationship. Yeah, wouldn't it be wonderful for you to have more depth, to have more intimacy than in your younger years? Imagine. Even better than in your younger years. And as I said, you won't have to pay $2,447. You only need to invest $97 into this program. That's it. So it's my personal support, 21 practices, and several bonuses. How's that? And so, I was thinking, how else can I support you to transform your relationship? And I've also decided to add my Unleash Your Magnetic Woman audio practice. And it's valued at $100. Because you need to step into your full power to transform your relationship, and to learn how to inspire your partner to give you the affection and support that you need. You really need to connect to your magnetic feminine power. And this practice will connect you with your magnetic woman. Because what I know about you is that she's there all along, right? You just need to bring her out. You need to connect to her. And so here's a recap of what you're going to get. So it's 21 practices to nourish your relationship and get that spark back. It's tantric tools to enjoy blissful lovemaking. It's inspiring vision for your relationship. You'll get a private Facebook group membership. You'll get my bonus number 1, which is unlimited support from me via our private Facebook group, and you'll be able to ask any questions. And bonus 2 is your relationship assessment. And bonus 3 is Unleash Your Magnetic Woman practice. And so the total value of this program is $2,747. And your investment is only $97 because I really want to make this program accessible to anyone, because I know how important love is in our life, and that's my mission, so I really want to give it to you, and I'd love us to create this amazing community of women who are successful both in their love life and at their work, because you can't have all of it. You can't have it all. Okay, so if you you need to register at this website, deeplyinloveagain.com 21-day challenge program. And so here is another success story where a woman was saying that before working with Tarisha, I was stuck in one place and felt unhappy. I was so tired and started to wait for the night to come in the morning. I wonder if that happens for you. And my relation with my husband was good, but we didn't have much excitement. And I thought it was because of our children and not enough time. And how wrong I was. This workshop changed my relationship so profoundly. And the intimacy we created is beyond all words. Yeah, so what if you could make love instead of arguing? How would that be for you? And so right now you have 2 choices, right? You can register, and in a month you can start enjoying deep, intimate connection. Or you can forget all about it and stay where you are right now. And it's totally up to you, and I'm here to support you. So if you're ready to jump, go to deeplyinloveagain.com 21-day challenge program. And now I'd love to share with you answers to some frequently asked questions about the program. So, question number 1 is, what is that 21-day challenge? And it's a 21-day program, so it's 21-day practices, but you will receive a practice every second day. So actually the program takes 42 days. And you receive the daily practices via email, and you will also have a web page with a daily video where I walk you through the practice so you can implement it right away in your relationship. And I highly recommend going to a web page. You'll get a link in your email and watch the video, because I go deeper in the video. And I have worked with hundreds of people. I've tested what works and what doesn't. So the practices I give you will get you the results. There's no fluff. It's all important information that you can implement right away. And the challenge is all about taking action and transforming the relationship as quickly as possible. Question number 2 is the guarantee. Oh yes, for all my trainings, I have a 30-day no questions asked guarantee. So in other words, if you aren't happy for any reason, so you just email me and email my support team, and we'll give you your money back, no questions asked. And I don't think it's going to come to that, but if you've even the least bit worried if this will work for you, then put your mind at ease. And I don't want you, to do something that you don't feel you benefit from. So you either get the results you want or you get your money back, and it's that simple. Next question, will this really work for me? All I can say is you have to put your energy and attention on your relationship to make this work. And this challenge, and that's why I call it challenge, right? It will support you on a daily basis to focus on what's really important. And participating in the challenge worked for other women, so it most probably will work for you. And if it doesn't, you have my money back guarantee. But my question to you, what would happen if you stay where you are right now, if you don't get the support? Okay, next question is, doesn't my husband need to do the course as well? How can I affect the relationship if he doesn't change? I've been receiving this question a lot, so thank you for people who wrote in. So people who got my Manguage report, they asked me this question, so thank you very much. And um, what I want to tell you is that we women forget how powerful we are, and not to mention how much love we have in our hearts. And so it's much easier for us to attract our men into love. And when you're ready, when you fully stepped into your power, when you embraced your femininity and sensuality, you become just simply irresistible. And your man just wouldn't want to say no to you. He'd be following you with adoration, giving you the love and attention you desire. And so it requires only one person to break the unhelpful relationship dynamics. And if you change the way you are acting, he won't be able to behave in the same way. Because relationship is a system. And most of the time men respond to women. And so if you change, then his response to you will change as well. So yeah, don't make this excuse that he needs to change. And that's the deadly mistake number one, right? Remember? Okay, next question that I got, we don't have anything in common now. Our love doesn't exist anymore. How can I revive it? I'm not even sure if I want to stay in this relationship. Um, yeah, and I really get you. Yes, I know when women can come to this point. And what I want to say is that, yeah, recognize that sometimes the best thing might be to physically separate from our partner and open up to new possibilities of love. However, we need to do this from an empowered state with a sense of deep care for our partner and our children. So, first, we need to find out what's not working and what we can do to change the unhappy dynamics in our relationship. And so, only after we have given 100% to our effort and commitment and have realized that we can't possibly fulfill each other's needs, then, we should start considering other options. And so in this way, we make decisions rooted in our partner's sense of goodness, of value. We honor the expression of our partner and act for the highest good of all involved, without blaming and engaging into unnecessary drama. So my question to you is, have you given your 100% to this relationship? Have you tried new ways of being and communicating with your partner? As I'm sure you know, you can get a different result if you don't change the way you are, if you don't act in a different way. Okay, so our next question is, isn't this course just like reading books? And no, it's not. It's completely not. Because, if you're a busy woman, you don't really have time to read hundreds of books on relationships as I did, because that's my passion. I just read and read and I find all this new information. So what I've done for you, this challenge has very focused, specific practices that will help you in your everyday life, right? And also getting the support and being able to ask me any questions is just worth way more than this course. And this is where the real transformation will happen, in you applying the practices and then getting my support. And every relationship is different, and I will answer your specific questions, so that's the goal for you. Okay, how long will it take to get access? Yeah, you'll get access immediately. And you will get the email with the first practice immediately. And afterwards, you'll receive an email and a video every second day. And there will be a total of 21 emails with 21 practices. And you will get each bonus on the day with the relevant practice. So I don't want to overwhelm you. I know you're a busy woman. So everything will be very relevant, very specific, very focused. Next question, is this challenge only for women in a relationship? And my answer is that yes, I've designed this challenge specifically for women in a relationship. And you will get the most benefit out of this challenge by implementing the practice in your relationship, right away. And of course, that said, if you're a single woman and you want to learn more about how to make relationships work, you're welcome as well. We'll answer your questions. Yeah. And so, yeah, you can get instant access at deeplyinloveagain.com 21-day challenge program. Okay, there's another last question. How much time will this take? I'm very busy in my life. And I totally relate. I'm busy. I have my business, my work. I have children, lots of friends. I look after myself. I know we're very busy women. So the practices won't take more than 20 minutes. So not having enough time, it's just not an excuse. And if you don't want to put any attention in your relationship, you'll never be satisfied in your love life. So the choice is yours, And also, if you want to put more attention in your relationship, there is always an opportunity to take the practices that I give you deeper. And the more you engage in our Facebook group, the more benefit you will get, the more questions you ask. Okay, so let me know if you have any more questions. You can type them in the chat box right now, or you can send me an email at tarisha@deeplyinloveagain.com. And it's really, it's really my honor to be part of your transformation. And I know I don't see you right now, but I really can sense your presence. And I really would love us to go on this journey together. And I thank you so much for investing your time today and deciding to take your relationship to a new level, because it's possible. And I'd love to hear from you and talk to you about your relationship. All you have to do on your side is say yes to yourself and show up to work with me. And so remember, you will get instant access to 21-day challenge. And so I look forward to seeing you on our Facebook group. And so here is the link to register again. deeplyinloveagain.com/21-day-challenge-day program. And have an awesome rest of the week. I can't wait to work together. Bye.